Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the State of the League podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jack, aka jokicjoestar, joined by my wonderful co-host, the world famous Pablo Escoball. Today, we're running down the Western Conference and a lot of shit that happens in the Western Conference. Manifest Destiny, the Transcontinental Railroad making it through the Rocky Mountains, the Gold
Oh,
Rush, lots of stuff like that. So, Pablo, how you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I have Dunkin' Donuts. They got rid of the holiday cups, so it's just white. Big news just dropped. I don't know if you've seen it. It happened like 10 minutes ago. Nick Saban is retiring. He's done at Alabama. It's over. Their time is over. Who's going to go
Damn.
in there? Is it going to be Deion Sanders? Who is it? Give me your expert college football opinion.
Um, I think I think they're going to liquidate Alabama's football program, and they're just kind of like they're going to send prospects to different other SEC schools, and Alabama they're going to shift to being a basketball school. They're going to spend a lot of
Nate
time,
Oates.
yeah, in the Colin Sexton auditorium, and they're
Oh,
just going to
God.
really lock in on that front. So football's done. It's in the past. They had their time. To be honest, that rocks. Alabama, it's kind of like Golden State falling off. I'm just like, oh no, oh fuck, you're fucking
Man,
20 years of excellence. How are you ever gonna cope with just like being okay now? Damn, sorry, Alabama fans. Roll Tide.
let me go on a little Bears rant before we start. The
Yeah,
Bears have officially kept our head coach, who was mid before he got to the Bears. He wasn't mid, he was okay. He turned a bad defense into an average defense. And I guess they were like, we got to have this quirked up white boy running our squad. 2 years into his tenure or whatever, nothing, just disastrous results. Luke Getzey, offensive coordinator, disaster. Matt Nagy again, all he throws is little screens. He is one of these cult like believers who believe football's not a northwest sport, it's an east-west sport. Let's just move side to side all the time. That's how we'll do it. Justin Fields, love him to death, not the answer. Well, guess what, we have Ryan Poles, who needs a lobotomy, running the team. We finally our things are looking up. We have the number one pick this year, Caleb Williams, supposed to be generational prospect, not quite generational, but still about as good of a quarterback prospect as you're going to find. If it's not him, then it's Drake May, who is he the next Josh Allen? But now there's discussions, and so that's the Panthers pick that we have. Our pick is
yes,
the ninth pick. At certain points of the season, we had the number 1 and 2 pick, but he decided to make a win now trade to get Montez Sweat, which I guess has worked out. He traded. This is my basketball brain. I'm literally never going to be able to. People tell me I'm not going to be able to understand this trade. They traded for a guy on an expiring contract. The Bears traded a second round pick, which is a big deal in football. They traded a
yes.
second round pick for a guy going into free agency. Like, his team didn't want him. We traded a second round pick to get him on our team in a tanking season in the middle of the year, and then max him out, pay him more than any other team. It's like the Carmelo trade to me, but I guess it's normal in football. And then he was so good, apparently, that he knocked us out of having the number 2 pick when we would have had Marvin Harrison Jr., the greatest wide receiver prospect ever. We could have had Caleb and Marvin, but no, we're down at 9. And then now there's talk, oh my God, will we keep Justin Fields? Caleb Williams paints his nails and he likes money. Is he gay? What's going on? We don't want him. And I'm just terrified we're gonna pass on him. We can't pass on him. Please, please, Ryan Poles. Why did he trade a second round pick for Chase Claypool when he didn't address the wide receiver problem at all in the offseason? That season was already gone. Traded a second round pick for him. Why did he get rid of Roquan? He'll never win me. I hate that man. Why did I suggest talking about this? I'm getting worked up. Let's go back to the
Mm.
NBA.
I like it. I like it. That's a solid tangent. We're cranking out 3 minutes of pod. I'm just gonna bring up the Bulls whenever we need to
Oh
fill
my God.
space. The Bulls and the Bears, just Chicago sports. Pablo, how's it going in the Windy City, man?
Hey, the Ring
Um,
of Honor is about to happen. Obama is going to introduce Michael Jordan. Magic Johnson is going to introduce Scottie Pippen, and then Eddie Vedder is going to introduce Dennis Rodman. I'm not an Eddie Vedder guy, but I guess all the 90s Chicago sports fans are big Eddie Vedder guys, so that means something to them. But I wonder, does it mean something to Dennis Rodman? I don't know, but that's going to happen. We're going to see some drama. Will Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen speak to each other? Is he going to be like, hey, your son is, he
Your
took
son, my
my,
wife. We got a
yeah, he
lot in
took
common.
her.
Hell yeah.
Remember how I was trashing you publicly for like a lot recently? Should we put that aside right now, or should we just not stand by each other and not speak to each other? Can Magic Johnson's charisma overcome that situation? I don't know. It's the ultimate test for it. Could he make them friends again?
Almost certainly not. That's going to be my shot in the dark. Feels like there's a lot of stuff that's just transpired between the two of them over the years, and all it's done is pick up gravity and momentum as they've not addressed it to the point where now, I mean, what, do you expect Michael Jordan to say sorry to a guy
Oh,
who's
no
who's to a
way.
guy who's worse than him at basketball? Fuck no. Get out of here, man. Let's run once, and then maybe you'll get an apology. I don't see it happening, but it will be fun. It will be fun. Shout out to fucking Obama. I'm the biggest Obama guy there is. Woo,
Oh
woo,
man.
woo. Um,
Let me be clear.
Let me be clear. And then if I could do a drone noise, I would, but I can't. So, just like editor, put one in here, I guess. All right, going from the Windy City, we're traveling south. We hopped on a train. We're traveling a little bit southwest through the desert, through Texas, all the way down to San Antonio. Nobody tell Charles Barkley. He's going to say really mean things about women's
Mm.
bodies. Oh my God, Charles, stop. Charles, the takes are going to age so bad. Charles, please.
Charles
Um,
Barkley's been hitting the Ozempic hard. We all notice. We all notice.
well, we all see your cheekbones. Yeah, come on, man. It's okay. We know
Yeah,
you're
it's the
not just
first time in a
tired.
while. Could
I'm
Charles
dead.
Barkley get an Ozempic sponsorship for the women of San Antonio? Does he have that kind of pull? I don't know.
Maybe. I think it's hard for Barkley to get a sponsorship because he sounds like that. Just like that voice is not you can't be like, oh hey everybody, Olympic. So yeah, thank you. Spurs, San Antonio Spurs. They're 0-4 in their last 4 games, but they have had pretty narrow losses to the Bucks and to the Cavs. Um, I'm not going to address any other San Antonio Spurs player above Victor Wembanyama here. I'm sure somebody else played well. Devin Vassell hit a huge three in the Cavs game. Wemby's playing 25 minutes a game over his last 4 games. He's 23 points, 8 rebounds, 3.8 blocks on 63% true shooting, and essentially kept the Spurs single-handedly in these games with Cleveland and Milwaukee. He has been, I mean, just transcendent. And like I saw a lot of people on Twitter today being like, "How is Chet not running away with like rookie of the year right now?" And I'm like, if you think he's better, that's fine. Like I really haven't sat down and like thought who I would vote for if I had a vote, but to say that Wembanyama is just like out of the discussion because the Spurs suck, I don't think Chet's moving the needle for this team. And I think he's got less swag too. I think Victor's handsomer and he's got more riz. So yeah, that's what I think's going down in San Antonio.
Yeah, for sure. I think it would be really interesting to see them flipped because I do think, I mean, the one thing that Chet is for sure better at right now is shooting. Like, you cannot leave him open because he's going to knock it down. And Victor is shooting the ball a lot, but they're not going in at a great rate. But I still believe in that shot long term. But so if you need to open three, definitely taking Chet. But I don't know. I don't think that really changes the Spurs' fortunes that much. Defensively, it's really interesting because Chet is like, he's playing great defense on a playoff team, on one of the best defenses in the entire league, and then Victor is the anchor of one of the worst defenses in the entire league. But I honestly, I feel like they're equal, or if Victor's not better. Like, I think I keep seeing all these crazy stats about like how his steals and blocks, about how historic it is. I saw someone say the other day, like, at his same age, he has more blocks than Mutombo and more threes than Curry. And
Damn.
I guess it's like threes by volume. Like, he's made more, but he's taken a lot more. So
Yeah.
not quite Steph Curry. But yeah, they're both two of the most destructive defensive players or two of the most destructive rookie defensive players in NBA history. And yeah, the Spurs, they're locked into sucking right now, but it's inspiring how good he is, even with the suck, even with the swamp all around him. He's still doing
Yes.
stuff.
Drain the
Drain the
swamp,
swamp.
baby. Yeah, there was a play in the Bucks game where it was like really game on the line, like last minute, last 2 minutes, something like that. And Giannis had like bailed them out with like a stupid little mid range the last possession, and he went like full shoulder into Wembanyama's chest, trying to get this dunk. And I mean, I don't know. I don't think Chet could have gotten it because his hands don't go up that high. It's really the craziest shit I've seen in a while where like it's Giannis full extension directly underneath the basket, like forearm a foot or so above the rim. And then Wemby still just like completely erased it, even like taking the shockwave from Giannis's drive and like getting pushed back a half foot or so. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think that makes him better than Chet, but I think
It makes him better than Giannis.
yeah, no, see that makes sense. So by extension, probably better than Chet too, because yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
Spurs.
that game was like that was like Godzilla versus King Kong. Like every time they clashed, like everyone just posted everything on Twitter. They're like, "Oh my god, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen."
Yeah, I don't know, like it's like Godzilla versus King Kong if King Kong just kept getting benched because he has a minutes restriction. So like you would get like 3 or 4 really solid minutes of run where it's just like holy fuck, this is the present versus the future. This is two forces of nature going up against each other. Oh shit, he stepped on the ball boy 2 weeks ago. So
Oh,
King Kong's got to sit down. Milwaukee's gonna go on like a 14-15-0 run real quick until he can come back in. So yeah, Spurs suck. Maybe they'll move for a point guard. I think it'd be funny if they brought DeJounte Murray back. I made a video
oh
on
my
that a couple
god.
days ago. Fleece of the century. Danny Ocean's posted up in the front office, like breaking down the heist real quick. Yeah, I think it would be fun. I think it fits their needs. I don't know what it like that would suck for Atlanta, but I'm not rooting for Atlanta, so I don't care really.
That is not a reunion I'm interested in. I unless he's like, hey, I'm gonna play defense again while I'm here. Even if he was the same defense, it's just I'd rather. Yeah, I'd rather just give Trey Jones the leash. Say, hey,
Yeah,
make all the mistakes you want. Let's see what we got with this.
yeah.
Maybe the Zion's best teammate at Duke. Hot take. Let me know in the comments.
Oh shit, Trey Jones. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty ubiquitous. Everyone agrees on that. Trey Jones aren't
He was so nuts. Like he would pick up guys full court all the time, and just he was the best defender in college basketball. It's crazy.
well. Now he's just pretty good. And Tyus, maybe they'll move. That'd be fun. Maybe San Antonio moves for Tyus Jones because I figure he's going to be available from the Wizards just because that's like a guy who could like be worth something and doesn't really fit their timeline at all. If you want somebody who can throw lobs, Tyus Jones can do it. San Antonio. So give up 2 first rounders for him real quick. I don't know. Just anything's possible. I don't have literally anything on the Blazers. I haven't watched them. I know they got nuked by the Knicks last night. I'm sorry to everyone listening that we forgot the
We're
Pelicans.
casuals. We're casuals.
So this is us not forgetting the Blazers. It's just us not being tapped in. I don't know what to tell you. I like Anthony Simons. If I see he's
Oh my
going off,
god.
if I see he's going off, I'll throw the game on. But I haven't seen it in a little while, so I'm like, he must just be having like a regular 25-point night or something.
He's had a few where yeah, I'm not necessarily tuned into these games, but then I see on Twitter like him pulling up from 5 feet behind the 3 point line. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is not. I like every week my opinion changes of like where I'm like, okay, this is a Scoot team, and we just need everyone else to support him. Then I'm like, oh my god, is this a Shaden? I see Shaden Sharp glide 18
Yeah,
feet through the air and do a reverse layup. I'm like, oh my god, this is the Shaden Sharp team. But then Anthony Simons comes back, and I'm like, he's just like Dame, except he can't attack the basket yet. But if he could, oh my god, that's just Dame again. And
yeah.
so, oh my god, they have a lot of interesting pieces. Yeah, but not this year, but great uniforms. Scoot's goggles. Is Scoot still wearing those goggles? Do you know? I don't even know.
I think so. Yeah, I've never seen him play without him. So if
That's such a good look. Kishimoto wanted to draw Naruto with the goggles all the time, but he realized that's a lot of drawing. That's
it's a
that's kind
lot
of
of
an
drawing, it's
that's
too much
that's
detail.
yeah, that's kind of a super annoying to do. So he's like, we'll lose the goggles. But luckily in real life, the simulation that we're in, it has no trouble rendering the goggles every
Yeah,
game.
no,
So
we're
Scoot
good to
Henderson
go.
can do it.
Yeah, well, the simulation has trouble rendering an artist that will draw goggles, I think is the problem.
Oh
Yeah, so
yeah.
shout out to a basic ass main character. Shout out to fucking Yuji Itadori. Shout out to Gon Freaks. You know, guys who are wearing the same exact shit every day, and it's just like boxy clothes that have no details to them. That's what we fuck with. And yeah, shout out to the Blazers. Blazers backcourt. If you could get them to do the fusion dance, that might be like if you could do every backcourt does the fusion dance. That might be one of the better ones. It's Anthony Simons plus Shaden Sharp shooting plus attacking the basket, athleticism, all that stuff. Yeah, they're exciting. And I don't know. I didn't expect them to be good this year. So I mean, yeah, we are where I thought they would be. They're not very good.
Yep.
All right. Big news, actual big news of things happening. Grizzlies. John Morant's done for the season.
Mm,
Torn labrum, 9 games of pretty solid play. There were some real highlights in there. There was a couple game winners, things like that. To me, I don't know. I'm not like a huge Memphis guy, so I don't feel the emotional brunt of this hit. And so, like, outsider perspective, they don't have to decide between like straddling the line of trying their hardest to make the play in tournament or something, or just like fully committing to getting as good a pick as possible. They're just, yeah, they're going to get the good pick now. That's kind of been decided, even though weirdly competitive recently. 3-1 in their last four wins over the Lakers, wins over the Suns with Booker, Beal, and KD, and the Mavericks with Luka and Kyrie both playing. And those last two, Ja wasn't even playing for. So I don't know. They're testament to like the depth of the league that this is one of the worst teams, and they still have guys like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bain playing pretty much every night.
yeah. You said 3-1 in their last four. Well, 4-1 in their last five. Yeah. Their
I'll
coach
raise you one. Hell yeah.
their coach ran on the court during the game, played defense for a second. That was pretty cool. But yeah, John Morant, he's done. I think this is probably good. This is probably a blessing and just like this is probably best case scenario for this kind of thing to happen. Because he came back. He looked spectacular. They started winning, and people were like, Jesus Christ, John Morant's really good. And then now he's out. And so we're still feeling good about John Morant, but now we don't have to have the like, okay, are they gonna really go all out in this season? They started 25 games behind everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to the Steven Adams injury, to the Brandon Clark injury, to whoever else has been injured. Um,
Xavier
to
Tillman missed considerable time. It was literally like their
mm,
entire big man rotation for 3 weeks was just completely out, and obviously Clark and Adams are done for the whole season. So yeah, it's just been like as far as seasons from hell goes, you could always sustain another major injury to one of your contributing players. Hope they don't. I mean, it could happen, but like as far as shit that's already gone wrong, the Grizzlies. I mean, good lord, it's probably the worst luck-based season in the league. Although I don't know if Morant's suspension is really luck-based.
yeah. He's put the guns down, John Moran. He's doing his dances now. It looks like guns. It's not actually guns, guys. But yeah, I think probably this is going to work out for them. They'll have a pretty high pick in the draft. Not good that it comes in this year's draft.
Yeah.
Like not too many great options, but if they could land Alex Sar, like Jaren Jackson without the shooting, maybe he can shoot eventually. But man, that'd be super duper interesting. There's not I would have to think on it more. There's not like someone who necessarily stands out to me at the top of the draft right now who would be like, oh my god, that guy would be amazing with the Grizzlies. But yeah, I mean, it's just nice to have that pick up there. Maybe they'll just
Yeah.
be able to trade that pick for something. But yeah, the one bright spot I'd say for them recently, Vince Williams. He has that dog in him. He's a very good defender. He had like 19 points against Phoenix. He's looking good. He's their new Dylan Brooks.
Oh, okay. I like that. Dylan Brooks worked out so well the last time. They're running it back. They're doing a new one. That's fun. I saw David Roddy dunk on somebody, and he
Mm,
kind of kind of similar to Zion, in just the sense that you watch him move through space and you're like, whoa, that's not
yeah.
how that's supposed to work. But it's instead of Zion being like a walking atomic bomb, it's just like the Zach Randolph build, but it's pretty athletic, and you're like, oh shit, okay, you're jumping like you're like 40 pounds lighter. This is pretty cool, David. So yeah, I think from a PR standpoint, the Jaw taking 35 games off, and then like Miles Bridges fucking hospitalizing his partner, and all the Josh Giddey shit going down. From a PR standpoint, everyone's over the gun shit with Jaw. Like, I have not heard anyone even be like, oh, like even pretend to clutch pearls over that shit anymore. They're just like, yeah, he didn't do anything wrong. That was kind of stupid how that went down. So yeah, by the time next season rolls around, I feel like they'll be in a pretty good spot, as good as you can expect when both of your centers like obliterate their knees within a 2 week span.
I'll tell you what, the worst thing that could happen to the Grizzlies may potentially be unfolding with Kenneth Lofton Jr. I think the Sixers signed him. I think he's playing for their G League team. I think
Mm-hmm.
he like lost 20 pounds and
Oh
he's
shit,
he's like slimming down. So what
Skinny
if
Lofton Jr. All right.
man, what if after all this time the Sixers are the ones who get peak Kenneth Lofton Jr., not the Grizzlies? They held on to it for so long. Oh my god, that would be a disaster for them. I'd be so mad.
I know. Damn, I always wanted him to work out because like watching a G League game where Kenny Lofton cooks is so fun because it's just like he's got heart. That's his thing. He's got heart and he's outworking everybody. And I mean that doesn't really apply when like you get onto the NBA floor and everyone outclasses your physical tools all at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. Shout out to Kenny Lofton. G League legend, I
how
suppose.
how is it hard for these guys to lose weight? Because like Zion and him, like I would imagine in an NBA game, you're burning 28,000 calories, like
At
doing the
least, yeah.
movements you do, carrying the weight that you do. Like how much are you eating on the other end? I guess I don't know what it's like to have the appetite of someone who is that big also. So maybe like they are just literally never full. But yeah, it seems like it should be. You got Kenneth, please, you got to load up on the tea. I had a new kind of tea this weekend at my friend's house. What is it called? Genmai, something like that. It's Japanese. But
Uh huh.
get on it, get on it. Tea, 0 calories.
Very filling. Fills you up.
Yeah, it was so good. Oh my god, it had like burnt rice in it. Someone comment down. They'll know what I'm talking about. The tea heads.
Yeah. The tea heads, drop in the comments. The burnt rice tea. I just got some winter wake up tea from Trader Joe's, whole box. Haven't touched it because I'm not a tea guy. So like,
Oh my god, you're a
I'm
tea
I'm open.
fraud.
I'm open to becoming a tea guy. It's just that like getting myself into the ritual of it. I don't ever look into the corner and see my electric kettle right there, so I never think, oh,
Mm.
some tea sounds good. Maybe if I reorganize the feng shui a little bit, it'll work its way into my daily routine.
Yeah, yeah. You need to get on the kettle wave. I'm a regular of the kettle in my kitchen. I'll tell you
Are
that
you
much.
are you like just a straight up tea, no coffee guy? Like is tea
No,
like your go to?
I
Oh, you're
I'm
Dunkin'. I forgot. You got the Dunkin'
yeah.
right there.
I'm bisexual, but not in sexuality. In drinking
Hmm.
tea and coffee. What would the term for that be? I don't know. By
By
beverageable.
by
I don't know.
drinkual. Hmm. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
really
but I
pushing.
I I rock with all the hot beverages. So
Okay. I love a hot bev. Like
big hot cocoa guy, big chaparrado guy, big. Oh, horchata is cold, but yeah,
yeah.
I'm
What
all about him.
you like you like chai lattes? You ever had one of those?
Yeah.
Chai, that's banging. That's really good. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, the day when it gets too hot for me to drink hot coffee anymore, like once it's spring's turning into summer and I'm like, fuck, it's already 70 degrees out. I don't want to drink this hot coffee outside. That's sad. I hate those days. So yeah. Shout out to Hot Bevs. Shout out to the Memphis Grizzlies. And shout out to Golden State Warriors because
Oh,
Draymond is on his way back, baby. The lead line I have for them is in hell, comma, Draymond back soon. They're 2-2 in their last four. Narrowly beat the Pistons. It was pretty sketchy, and the Magic. They lost to the Jokic buzzer beater, best player in the league. Oh my god! And then they got fucking stomped by R.J. Barrett and the Toronto Raptors. Steph Curry, since Christmas, I got his stats right here: 20 points, 5 assists, 37% from the field, 30% from three, 51% true shooting. It's not great. So, how you feeling about Golden State?
yeah, it's crazy. We're finally at the end. It's like the poetic end of the Warriors. They came in like 2014, 2015. When Steve Kerr came in, they were the hot new guys on the block. They were revolutionizing basketball. They were like, "Hey, we're going to play all these small guys and we're just going to switch everything and our star is going to be off the ball. And this isn't what you guys are used to. This is crazy." And everyone's like, "Oh my god, these guys are the best. Let's all copy them." Fast forward to 10 years later, basically, now
Mm-hmm.
they look like they're the old guys. Like Steve Kerr is like, Kuminga, he doesn't really know how to play basketball. I don't like him. I'm just going to stick with all the old men that I have. We still have the best shooter ever and one of the best shooters ever. The rest of our team is completely devoid of shooting. It seems like I guess they can just do it themselves. Um, they yeah, Wiggins is having down year. Wiggins can't shoot. Kuminga can't shoot. Draymond is still shooting like he's above 40% still. So we'll see
That's
if
so
that
funny.
continues. But yeah, they're looking old. Even with Trace Jackson, Davis, and Pajimski, it's just the vibes are pretty rancid out there right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, and
I
Chris Paul broke his fucking hand. I totally forgot about that. He's
Yeah,
getting surgery, which I mean, I don't know. He ran a tight bench unit, but they weren't closing with him. So, in terms of like hugest hit your roster could possibly take, Draymond being suspended is probably bigger than losing Chris Paul.
yeah, it's feeling like, man, I love Steve Kerr. I think he's probably one of the best coaches ever. But it's just I've seen some talk. I saw a TikTok. Well, no, I saw a guy on Twitter repost his TikTok. So I don't know if this was a big TikTok or
All
not.
right. Yeah.
But he was talking about should the Warriors run more pick and roll, which has basically been a discussion for 10 years now. People are like,
Yeah.
man, imagine Steph Curry in the pick and roll. That'd be pretty sick. But Steve Kerr's been very determined. He's like, nope, we're going to run our system. Our system is what works. And so I was thinking about that. Do you think they should run more pick and roll? Because I feel like, what's it called? So pick and roll with Steph Curry, I feel like that probably opens up more perimeter shots versus how he
Hmm.
plays right now opens up more shots at the rim, like with cutters and stuff. And so I don't know if pick and roll would be the answer because they don't have shooting. So
Yeah.
like they're just gonna leave Wiggins or leave Kuminga or leave Looney, or well, not Looney because he'll be down there, but they're just gonna leave people. And so I don't really know if pick and roll is the answer unless you literally just want to have Steph Curry solo the entire game, just
Yeah.
just like pulling up out from just Steph and Draymond the entire game. I don't know. I don't think that would work. What do you think?
I mean, pick and roll, Steph Curry in the pick and roll, effective way to generate offense. He's really talented at running that. Like you said, I'm on the same boat as you. They don't really have enough shooting for it to be an effective way to like maximize. I mean, if they find Clay off the pick and roll, perfect. That rocks. Beyond that, I think Pajemski is like a decent shooter, and then pretty much everyone else, you're like, yeah, I'll fucking live with that if I'm the defense. So approaching that from a defensive standpoint, look, yeah, if they want to run more pick and roll, go right ahead. it's fine because they also don't have really like a lob threat or even like a super competent finisher at the basket in the pick and roll. Like
They
Draymond,
they they gotta test out Trace Jackson Davis, baby. He can
yeah,
be that lob guy. You just gotta
he
figure
could.
it
I
out.
mean, he's an athlete.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So I don't know. The thing that jumps out to me when I watch the Warriors is like you touched on it, how they kind of revolutionized the league with small ball. And it worked for a long time. Like it was so effective. And now we've kind of gotten to this point where there are a lot of guys who can fill peripheral roles on a team that are like 5 inches taller than they used to be. Like there's just been kind of an influx in really capable wing players and things like that. And it just feels like the top talent in the league as far as like Boston, Minnesota, Oklahoma City to some extent, Denver, Philadelphia is pretty fucking big as well. Just like everybody's really big, and when you compare them, Los Angeles even like that's a big team as well. The Clippers and the Lakers, when you compare those teams to Golden State, there's not like a ton. You have Wiggins, who's a pretty solid wing, but as far as like size goes, if you're routinely running out Klay Thompson at this stage in his career trying to like guard small forwards, that's gonna work out poorly, I think. So yeah. Compare him to Phoenix and LA, which we will get into a little bit further into the episode. I think they have a fair bit of flexibility at the deadline and in the off season, so maybe they could make some tweaks to really squeeze everything out of Steph Curry. But yeah, it's definitely looking like the end of an era where it sits right now.
Yeah, it's crazy to think. I think they're only like 18 months removed from their championship. Is that right? I feel like I heard that on a podcast.
That sounds
Um,
about, yeah. Like it might be, yeah. That's probably about right.
yeah, that's crazy. And I still feel like Draymond hasn't declined yet. Like
No,
Clay is clearly not the same guy, but I still feel like Draymond at his peak, or like just regularly, like in a playoff series, I think he's one of the best defensive players you could have in the entire league. Um, But yeah, and it's like, and another thing is like, we for like 10 years, people have been saying they're not big enough. If they just
yeah.
run into this big man in the playoffs, they'll be done for. And they just beat them every single time. But this finally the time where it feels like, yeah, you're not big enough. Like if you like, will you be able to get a single rebound in a series against some of these teams? I don't even know. Or maybe you can, but Kevon Looney will be dead by the end of it. He'll be the new Matthew Dellavedova when he was
He's
going to
got
the
to get
hospital. Yeah,
hospitalized.
in between games. They need
Yeah.
something like, and then even like Trace Jackson Davis, I think he's really good, really promising. He's like 6'9", so I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's not even like gargantuan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I think
they
I
they need
agree with
they
you.
need something.
I don't think Draymond's regressed really and noticeably on the defensive end. I just think a lot of his like where he really elevates a team is kind of having him quarterback a defense. So you surround him with athletes at the bare minimum who are like capable of making a good defensive plays. If you have somebody kind of telling them what to do and keeping them in position, and if they make a mistake, Draymond's one of the best in the league, was the best in the league for a long time at like seeing a mistake happening in real time and then covering up for it, getting in position to like draw a charge or contest a shot that would have been wide open anyways, something along those lines. And when
His
you look at the
scram switches, man, they were legendary.
yeah, dude, like it's I don't know, that's some shit that it's just hard to do now because you don't have those athletes on the floor as much. You have Wiggins, and beyond that, like Clay taking a big step back really hurts in that regard. Poole wasn't like a good defender anyways, but
Nah,
I don't know.
but
He
but
was at least running
offensively,
around and shit. Yeah, like
yeah,
he was
offensively, he was
helping on
like a boot.
offense.
He was like another Steph Curry. Like his he was at like 66% true shooting during that playoff run. So he was definitely dynamic. Like for all the criticism for not playing Kuminga more and for not playing Moody more, which is definitely valid.
Hmm.
Like at the end of the day, even if they play more, it just doesn't feel like they're gonna change things that
Yeah,
much.
is it like
Moody
that?
might, but I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know about Kuminga.
All right. Well, Kerr's fucking washed. Steph Curry's done for. Klay Thompson's smoking pot on a kayak in the middle of the fucking bay. And you know what? I'm not that sad about Golden State. You guys had a solid run, and if this is a clip that comes back to bite me in 4 months when they fucking go on a 25 streak or something
Oh
like
man,
that,
I would
it's
love it. I would love it.
dude, I can't handle it. It's okay, Golden State. Go quietly into that good night, please. All right. Moving on to the Utah Jazz. One of the more interesting teams in the league as of late. They've been doing a ton of ice Bryce Sensabaugh run. I assume because they're three and
No.
one and they're 3-1 in their last four, 11-4 in their last 15, which is tied for the fourth best record in the league during that span. Weirdly, I looked it up. 12th on defense, 13th on offense, and 10th in net during the 11-4 run, which you would expect to be like a little bit higher. Their losses were pretty big margins, so that kind of fucks up the net rating systems. But yeah, Utah, just an interesting team as of late. I'll let you take the lead here. Feels like you're a little bit more versed on the Jazz than I am. How you feeling?
Utah, you idiots. You waited too long. You didn't bring up Bryce Sensabaugh. Keep him in the G League because he's only played, I think he's played five. Someone told me he hasn't played enough minutes, or he's played too many minutes to qualify for Rookie of the Year next year. I think he's played 5 minutes in the NBA. No shot attempts at all. Nothing yet. But I think keep him in the G League. Let him win Rookie of the Year next year because it's going to be such a bad situation that next year that when Bryce comes in averaging 20, 24, 24, 6 and 4
Okay, all right.
on like 89% true shooting, it's going to be pretty hard to deny him Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
Because he is the greatest mid-range shooting prospect in NBA history, one of the best spot up 3-point shooting prospects in history, not by volume or by percentage necessarily, but by confidence and taking the shots. He's
yes,
absolutely obliterating the G League. The Salt Lake Stars, they recently made a move where they got rid of Josh Christopher and they're bringing in Jason Preston. So Josh Christopher, kind of a chucker, kind of like
yeah.
stepping on Bryce's toes. I mean, you're not Bryce though. Jason Preston, like LaMelo Ball light. I love Jason Preston. True point guard, basketball genius. If you've seen his TikToks, they're amazing. Does breakdowns. Was originally gonna be he was on SB Nation writing Pistons fan articles
Damn.
after his senior year in high school because he's like, oh, I'm not getting any offers. Took a fifth year of high school um, at some kind of academy, played great. Went to the University of Ohio, was one of the best players in college basketball, drafted by the Clippers, hasn't really gotten a lot of run time, and now
Hmm.
he's in the G League playing with Bryce. He's going to be his point guard, triple double threat. This is going to be must watch TV. It's going to be better watch than the Jazz, even with their winning
And
streak.
what's this
Um,
guy's name? I just want to make sure I don't forget him when he blows up.
Jason Preston. Shout out to
Jason
Jason
Preston.
Preston.
Thank you.
Um, they they're on their huge winning streak. There's been a lot of trade talk with them. Do you trade Laurie? Do you trade John Collins? Do you trade Kelly Olynyk? But I got
Hmm.
to tell you, there's one big storyline that's a disaster for the Jazz that kind of puts a rain on the parade, and it's that they are there is going to be a sit down interview with Karl Malone, known
Yeah.
pedophile, and John Stockton, known QAnon member. So what are they going to talk about? I can't imagine
I'm
how
scared. Yeah.
how have the Utah Jazz not distanced themselves from this tandem, this terrible
Uh,
tandem. I will
g-
never understand it.
guys, call up Darren Williams. Call up Carlos Boozer. You
Oh
guys had
my
some. You had some
god.
great times back then. You could. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Go talk about. It's not like they. It's not like Stockton and Malone have a title and those guys don't. Everybody's fucking losers. You could at least hang out with the cool guys. Be like, Carlos, remember Marker Duran? That was pretty crazy. Come
Well, that
sit
was on the
at
Bulls.
center court.
Oh no, he could
Oh,
just talk. He doesn't have. That was fine though. They could just talk about it still. If
that's what
if
I'm
we
saying.
if we remove Stockton and Malone from history, what are we missing?
What
Like
happens?
Stockton's the best. He has the most assists ever. Nobody thinks he's the best passer
Yeah,
ever.
I was
He
I
has the
was
most
just about to
steals
say.
ever. Nobody thinks he's the best defender ever. Nobody thought he should have been on the dream team. Karl Malone, nobody brings him up in best scorer conversations ever. LeBron James said it. Nobody picked the Utah Jazz in NBA Jam or whatever. Nobody cared about these two guys. They were good, not good enough to overcome who they are as people. So I want to forget about them, wipe them from the history books, call in a buster call on the Utah Jazz's records, make them
Mm-hmm.
there is no Warren Bossing say there was no Karl Malone Stockton
Yeah,
pick and
no.
roll in Utah.
The
I'm
Jazz, the
what are we
Jazz,
missing?
the Jazz were in New Orleans in the late '90s. That's what
Mm.
I remember. Yeah, I saw a funny video where it was like it was Roger and whoever fighting on the fucking island, like
Mm.
clashing, and it was like a R A blank IST, and it was the letter C and the letter
Oh,
P fighting. It was a quote of the Stockton and Malone thing, and so yeah, I don't know. It's just funny. You were like, "What do we lose?" And immediately I'm like, "Okay, you lose the worst faith argument in the history of basketball about like passing and steals and defense, where it's just like he has the most. He has by far the most." I'm like, I do not give a fuck. Like I could not. You couldn't force me to care with a gun. It wouldn't happen. And even when you talk about guys in the same tier talent wise as Malone and Stockton, they have no fucking swag. They have no juice whatsoever. Like if you're like Malone versus Dirk Nowitzki, take a poll. 110% of people go for Dirk Nowitzki. Like that's the guy. And like they're similar caliber scores, I guess, but Dirk's fucking cool. And I mean, same with Stockton. If you ask someone like John Stockton or Jason Kidd, which I mean, Jason Kidd, giant piece of shit in his own
yeah.
right. But I mean, like, I don't know. It's funny to think Kidd's probably a worse person than John Stockton, but I just like Stockton's vibes are so putrid that I'm just like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Kid
If
was kind of nice in Brooklyn, man.
Kid has done worse stuff, but given the opportunity, like if you made both of them president, then Stockton would do far
Oh,
worse
oh my
things.
God.
Who like swap out Karl Malone for LaMarcus Aldridge, and then swap out Stockton for who would be somebody like I'm just Darren. You know what? I don't know. I don't know.
Do it.
Somebody who's a point guard that's like
I'm
because
trying to think.
Stockton was very productive. I don't know if he like talent
Mm,
wise is
yeah.
like
Put Andre Miller on the Utah
I
Jazz, you
was
know?
thinking that, but
Like,
he couldn't shoot like that. So it would have to be someone who
yeah.
can pass and shoot. Some oh my God, Kirk Heinrich, LaMarcus Aldridge
Oh,
in the
shit.
'90s. I'll tell you what, man. Let's replay it. Someone fired it up and fire up the simulation in 2K.
All right. Damn. You know, I think Player's Choice might be onto something. This is actually really fucking fun. Just being like, Lamar, Karl Malone wasn't that good. Fuck that guy.
Oh no, they'd
Um,
be so mad at us because they'd be like, "What the history books?" I'm like, I don't care about that. Burn the books.
burn the books. That's exactly what I'm saying. And you can quote me on that.
I am a fascist when it comes to the preservation of Karl Malone, John Stockton history. I'm like, wipe it away. We don't need to hear about it.
Although if you want to
What
talk
what if
about
kids learn from that? Ew.
if you want to talk about fuck, what is it? Stockton at like 9 points per game in the '98 finals, something like that. I'll talk about that all day. He was
Fraud
not
watch,
good.
fraud watch.
Fraud watch, get him out of here. Steve Nash, my goat. All right. I
Oh
don't know.
my God. Oh,
Shout out to Colin Sexton for active Jazz players. He started all
best jazz
15
point guard
games.
ever.
Yeah, young bull. I don't see John Stockton making a 3-on-5 close in
Oh
college.
my God. He
I don't
could
think
not
that's
do that.
happening. He doesn't have it like that. He doesn't have the fucking hot hand. Yeah. Sexton's been 21 points and 5 assists on 63% true shooting during the 15-game run that the Jazz are on. Lowry incredibly consistent, still 29 points or 23 points and 9 rebounds. 29 points. That's a bit much for Lowry. He's missed 2 games. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see him move Lowry, but at the same time, I don't think it's like super pressing. It's not like you're already mid, and if you're like mid at this point in the season, it's going to be hard to really break into like the high picks anyway. So you might as well just like ride it out, see what happens in the off season. And like we've already touched on, it's not like there's
There's no
some guy.
savior.
Yeah, you're not like diving to the bottom to try and find a fresh tank of oxygen at the top of the next draft. It's not nothing's there.
Although those Nikola Topic and Laurie Markkinen pick and rolls might be
Oh
sick.
shit. Oh shit. All right. We got to come up with a new name to give Eastern European guys. Too many Nikola itches in the
Oh
world.
man, and the
It's
Bulls
like
have the worst one.
they remake Superbad, and he pulls up with an ID that says like Nikola Ivich or something like that. And he's like, it's the most common name in the world, dumbass. Yeah. All right. Oh shit. I didn't realize Lakers are just one spot above the Jazz. That's a little bit jarring.
Oof.
I thought they were better, but that's a hot story. Did you watch the Raptors game last night?
No, I was seeing Godzilla -1, but when
Oh, fuck.
it
Let's talk
it
about
was
that. It was so good.
it
Oh
was so
god.
good. The moral of the story of Godzilla -1, guys, if a baddie comes into your life and wants to marry you, marry her, and don't, because if you don't marry her, then she's gonna
Godzilla.
wanna get a job, and to pay rent to move out, and while she's at her job, she's gonna get killed. So don't just marry her. Just don't fight in war. It's not
Yeah.
shameful to not be a kamikaze. It's actually shameful to be a kamikaze. You died for nothing. um
Yeah.
but yeah, I went from one dinosaur, Godzilla, to I turned on Twitter to see the other dinosaur, the Raptors. It was my
That's great.
entire timeline saying this was the worst officiated game in NBA history. I haven't gone back and watched it. So how bad was it?
It's gonna let you down. I'm just telling you that now. It's not like, don't get me wrong. Full on, I'll bare my chest. I don't fucking like the Lakers. I'm sick of it. I haven't liked them for a while. LeBron, I like him. It can be frustrating to watch the way shit works with them sometimes. This game, the fourth quarter, they were like literally asking Siakam or Scotty Barnes to just one on one take over guarding Anthony Davis in the paint every possession. That resulted in a lot of fouls. And simultaneously, I watched the fourth quarter again this morning, and I counted the number of drives that I saw. I think it was like 7 for the whole quarter. Like they were making jumpers, to be fair. Gary Trent Jr. hit a couple big threes, and there was like some nice little mid-range pull-ups. Dennis Schroeder did like the fucking Rondo move 3 possessions in a row where you fake the layup and then you spin around and you're
Nice.
wide open all of a sudden. He didn't really hit those, but it was cool. Yeah, I don't know. They just didn't do a ton in terms of like running plays that generate foul contact. So to point to the differential and be like, this was completely fixed, I think that's a little bit disingenuous. There were some calls where like back to back, D'Lo, hits Scotty pretty hard, meeting him on a drive. And then the trip down the other way, it's immediately like a touch foul on D'Angelo Russell or
Hmm.
something. And that's not great. It wasn't super consistent as far as physicality goes, but that's also not what people were mad about. They were asking for like a flop on a pretty clear moving screen from RJ Barrett. And I'm like, yeah, it was a flop, but I don't think you're going to get that tech when RJ's fucking pass blocking for Scotty Barnes. So yeah, I don't know. It's the fix wasn't completely in. It was like a traditional Lakers whistle combined with pretty ineffective fourth quarter play from the Toronto Raptors. And the fact that they lost their challenge on a like Emmanuel quickly fucking elbowed Cam Reddish right in the jaw. And
Oh,
Toronto was like, no, we're challenging this. And they lost it. And then they immediately got like 3 whistles that they really could have used a challenge on. So it was a perfect storm of events to really piss everybody off. But I don't know. A lot of hearsay from what I'm saying.
yeah. That's honestly, I probably had a better time than anybody tuned into that game.
Oh,
So
you definitely did. Dude, Godzilla -1 fucking rocked. When the spikes pop out from his spine and you get
oh my
that
god,
little
I
like
bet that feels so good if you're him.
I know. Yeah. Follow me on Letterboxd, everybody. Yeah, at jokicjoestar on there. I think my review was they gave my guy a belt and they said drip or drown. And so
Mm.
if you've seen the movie, it makes sense, but no spoilers here. Maybe Godzilla takes over the world at the end of Godzilla -1. You gotta go figure it out for yourself. Other than the Raptors game, I said it was good that they beat the Clippers. Shout out to Ty Lue for forgetting that Kawhi had a minutes restriction in that game, and essentially like he had to take him out from the 3 minute mark all the way up until like the final 20 seconds to meet Kawhi's minutes restriction. And so essentially they didn't have their best player for like all of the important one possession game possessions. And then Cam Reddish, 8 from 12 or 8 of 12 from three in his last 3 games. He went 4 of 6 versus Toronto. If he's playable offensively, that is like a big difference maker for the Lakers. They don't have many guys who are really playable on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I've seen some scam Reddish comments. People are unhappy with scam Reddish sometimes. But yeah, this team,
He's
like
streaky.
I turned on NBA today. They were going all in on Anthony Davis. They were like, this is the Anthony Davis we've been waiting to see since he got in the league. LeBron is still great, but man, they don't have the guys. So I'll say what I always say about them. They could really use a shooting guard who can attack the rim and make threes, and who like played in LA in college, so he knows the area. And so I would give up a lot of assets to go get that guy, or just somebody, or maybe like Caruso, who's been on the team before, like something. I would just go all
So
in.
like Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards target maybe or something like that.
No, like a little further south. Like
Okay.
like
I don't know. Maybe maybe like a Lou Dort J Dub trade, something like that. I don't know.
a little far north. Like no.
Okay. Yeah, maybe they should Isai Tominaga out of the University of Nebraska. Shout out to the Cornhuskers, baby. Taking down Purdue last night for all my NCAA fans out there. My dad was freaking the fuck out.
Oh, really? Is he a big Nebraska college basketball fan?
Yes, he's a masochist. It's hard. It's hard to. He loves Nebraska, and I mean, I want him to be happy. So like, I checked the scores and everything, but their football team last year lost like the most one possession final seconds games in college football. Like they would literally just let everybody get into field goal range right as the clock was expiring for like a month and a half straight. And so yeah. Sorry,
is
John.
Hoiberg still there?
He is. Yes.
Okay.
He's coaching Nebraska ball, and yeah, I mean they're good this year. They're like 14-3 or something like that. Might make the tournament, which is it's good for them. I don't know. That's not the most storied program in existence. So yeah, shout out Tominaga, 20 points, took out Zach Edey. Who's the real I don't know, not the real Asian American, but the real Hooper, I guess.
What's it called? Shout out Fred Hoiberg. He was fired from the Bulls because he ceased being Garpax's yes man. Jimmy Butler told him, we don't want these freaks in the locker room anymore. So he's like, hey, guys, you freaks, you have to stay out. And they're like, what? You're supposed to be our yes man. And so they fired him. Also, Bulls fans got mad at him because he has a heart condition, and if he gets too worked up, he might die, and he doesn't wear a tie because of that. And they said that makes him a bad coach because he can't argue for the players. So the Chicago fans are the dumbest people on earth. But yeah,
I know Mike
hopefully
Malone.
Nebraska fans are treating him better.
I went to a game while I was home, and they got a dub. I was cheering for him. I said, Hoiberg, loosen the collar, man. You're playing this too close to the fucking edge, dude. I was just gonna say, I know Mike Malone doesn't have that condition because he's always wearing a quarter zip that's fully zipped. I mean, that motherfucker is directly under his chin every game, and so
Gotta stay warm. I
don't know. I miss the days. I miss coaches wearing suits. I think that'd be sick. I miss the Pat Riley type vibes, the Chuck Daly, those situations. So yeah,
I think coaches got to start wearing the uniforms like baseball. That's what they got to
do. That's kind of sick. Like they have to wear the uniforms and they don't get to wear the warm ups. So I mean, fuck, who coaches the Knicks? It's Tibbs. There we go. Yeah. Tibbs is just posted up in like the bright blue jersey on the bench, losing his mind
with shorts down to his ankles, I'm sure.
yeah, no question. All right. Moving on to the Phoenix Suns, real cream of the crop shit we're working with here. Their big Big three. They lost to the Jawless Grizzlies, and then they got fucking annihilated by the Clippers. They're 1-3 in their last four. They've lost to the Clippers twice, and then that one to the Memphis Grizzlies. And their one win was accompanied by a 31-point performance from Grayson Allen. So they're really that away from like maybe being 0-4 in their last four.
Yeah, they're not looking too hot. Booker, the big issue I've seen people discussing is that they are a mid-range team and that they love to take mid-range shots. They are like top of the league, like number 2 or something in all mid-range attempts. Like they're right up there in mid-range attempts. They don't really take threes. They're in the 20s in three-point attempts. They're in the 20s in rim attacks. And usually that's an okay strategy because you're like, all right, Kevin Durant, he shot 56% from the mid-range last year. Devin Booker shot 51% from the mid-range last year, but both of those numbers have fallen for them. Durant is at 46, Booker's at 45. They're in the 66th and 60th percentiles, respectively. So these are not guys who are lighting it up from mid-range. And so when you make that sacrifice, when you're like, we don't need to take a lot of threes because we can just make every one of our mid-range shots, it doesn't work as well when you're not making every one of your mid-range shots. So this is a team that I think has to be a transcendent offense because they just don't have the personnel to be a top defense. And so they're gonna have to have some kind of Clippers come to Jesus hallelujah moment where they figure everything out, because I mean the talent is still there for them to be that level of offensive supernova, but just as the season has gone further down, and really they are like a direct parallel to the Clippers, just in like super top heavy super team. It just looks like the Clippers are like, I feel like the Clippers are probably a real contender this year. And then just comparing them to the Suns, it feels like, yeah, this is probably not going to be your year unless things radically shift.
Yeah. The big thing I've noticed when I watch the Suns is that the offense does not feel fluid at all. And a lot of times what'll happen when they're running the big three is like at least two of the three guys in the big three will catch the basketball and they will really analyze their situation through the lens of like an ISO scorer, being like, how can I break this down to get my team a bucket? And so that'll take like 8 seconds off the shot clock sometimes,
Yeah.
just between those two things. And a lot of times it results in somebody really underqualified taking like a really difficult look, as far as like Josh Okogie winds up with the ball in his hands or someone along those lines. And that makes me nervous. I feel like Booker can play the point guard well enough, but they are essentially locked in to this backcourt pairing. Neither one of them can slot down to the small forward spot. So like they need to figure out how to run like a seamless offense with, oh shit, Pablo just dropped. Pablo,
Wait, can you hear me?
Pablo.
Oh, I don't know what happened. All right, pick it up from seamless offense.
All right, seamless offense. Yeah, I don't know, like it's just two guys being pretty good playmakers does not amalgamate to one great point guard setting up the rest of the team to score. And so like between the two, it's not like you have James Harden kind of conflicting with Westbrook, and when you slot one to the other can really focus on being a full-time facilitator. It's like neither one of those guys is qualified to really be a full-time facilitator for an elite offense. I think if you were just trying to be like a mid-level team, Booker is a fine point guard, but he's much more suited to scoring the basketball. And so, yeah, I don't know. That makes me nervous because they are locked in. They're paying $1 trillion to these three guys over the next 3 seasons. They're literally like next year's second highest payroll. 3 years from now, they're number one in the league. And all three, Booker, Beal, Kevin Durant, are going to be top 10 paid guys over the next 3 seasons. So, yeah, it's just, I wouldn't want to be a Suns fan. But shout out to Grayson Allen. He's been killing it. Like, as far as keeping the average score of their role players up, if he wasn't on the team, they'd all be looking at D minuses for the most part.
Yeah, it's with like the scanning the floor, like slowing down the offense. That's like identical to what the Clippers were going through. They were generating these advantages. The problem with the Suns is like when you do all this mid-range shooting, it's less of an advantage generated. So I wonder if they can. But their three guys should be capable of generating advantages. So
Hmm.
it's got to come down to a play style change. The Clippers have been much better at working in their stars into like regular like Ty Lue has been great this year. He's running Paul George off these like screen actions to get him 3-point shots, and he's running Kawhi down low. And they're getting them involved in creative ways rather than just like taking turns and stuff. And so I do think what's his name, Vogel, is a really good coach, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to figure something similar out that can make this team more fluid and more democratic.
Yeah, and it definitely doesn't help. Over the last four, Booker and Beal are 30% from three combined on nearly like over 10 attempts per game. They're 13 of 42 over the last four games. And so I think that will probably correct. We know both of those guys are capable of being pretty effective floor spacers. And when those shots start falling, the defense is forced to react a little bit more, and that'll like loosen up the mid range area, which I don't know. Kevin Durant, he should be a guy who shoots 1,000,000% from the mid range. He's historically one of the best guys ever in that zone. So yeah, the pieces are here. And I think you're kind of forced to have faith if you're the Suns. You don't have very much flexibility at all in terms of like moves you can make to flesh out the roster around these guys. It's just, yeah, you got to figure it out internally. And so whether or not that's going to happen, up in the air. All right. Any final thoughts on the Suns?
Nope. Nope.
Fuck
Nope.
those guys. Exactly. Houston Rockets, 2-2 in their last four. They beat the Bucks, they beat the Nets, they lost to the Timberwolves, and they lost to the Heat. They nearly blew the notable game that I tuned into. They were up 20 on the Bucks, and they nearly smoked it in the second half behind 48 from Giannis. But this was like a much more traditional Rockets game in the sense that they were at home and they were playing really good defense on everybody else. Damian Lillard did not look super effective in this game. Thompson looked really solid defensively when he was switched out onto him, and Fred VanVleet held his own pretty well as well. And so, yeah, I don't know. Houston, not like super subversive week for them, just kind of like toeing the line.
Yeah. Wait, what do I have? Oh yeah, I've just with for them it's just like the season is just transformed into like a Shengun fest. Everyone's just excited about Shengun,
They're
which
Shangooning.
is
Oh my God. Oh
yeah,
my
with that
God.
that's a great place to be, and I would love to be in that position. But I think expectations have clearly shifted from we're gonna make noise in the playoffs this year to
Hmm.
we're still on our way. We're still figuring everything out, how everyone's gonna function. It's good to see Amen Thompson getting more run. It's good to see Cam Whitmore getting more run. Um, but yeah, at this point, this is the early years with Shengun where you're just tuning in this year to be like, yeah, I was watching him back then
Yeah, I've been watching
before
him since
he
24.
before he became so big that Turkey got an NBA team. Yeah, I was watching him back then. So
Yeah,
that's
I was
what the
watching him
Rockets fans have going on.
when snow was around. When it used to snow, I was watching Shengun. Yeah.
When England was above water.
uh, how you feel about Jalen Green, dog? I've never been a big Jalen Green guy. Recently it's been pretty tough in this stretch. 15 points, 4 assists, 50% true shooting. Good lord. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna like take victory laps around it or anything. It's just not been good, and it's not helping Houston out very much.
Well, Gilbert Arenas said he's a star, and New York needs to go after him. But I'm still an optimist in Jalen Green just because I know the talent that's in there, but it's like it just has never been productive, and so I don't know what they think of him. Like are they really? I think Şengün is clearly taken precedence as like this is the face of our team going forward. This is when if we are good, it's going to be on his
Hmm.
back. And so I do think for sure Jalen Green could find a way to fit in with that. But it would just mean doing more dirty work, being less on ball, just being just basically playing wide receiver for him, and just running around and using those turbines on his legs to do that. Um, but yeah, it's probably rough for him. Like it's just like an existential crisis type thing. Like you were all throughout high school, you have all the mixtapes and stuff, and you're
Hmm.
you're you're like the biggest basketball player on the internet. And then you go to the G League Ignite, and you're the face of that program. You're drafted super high. The Rockets are like your team. Like you're so good they drafted Josh Christopher just because he's your buddy. And then some random like fat guy from Turkey comes in, and he like can't even speak English when he first comes in. And then it's like all of a sudden he's the face of the team, and they're like, hey, could you not cook as much? When you
Yeah.
cook, it doesn't work out for us, so we're gonna let Şengün cook. We don't want you to cook. So that's probably tough for him to deal with. He's still super young right now. He's just not a very good player, but I still have optimism that he could be a very good player. My like for him, he was always in the Zach Levine spectrum for me, and I was hoping that he would be able to get to that level of player where even if the passing field is more limited, he's that you can just be super efficient from three and super efficient at the
Hmm.
rim and just do your damage that way. And I also thought Anthony Edwards was in that tier. Anthony Edwards has clearly ascended from that tier. He's fully bought into playing defense, and he still takes too many mid-range shots, but he's just playing a more efficient, effective brand of basketball. And so Green has just got he's just got to figure out his style, because all it's the skill and the physical potential are all there, but it's just not together. And so I don't know if it will come together on Houston or if it will come together somewhere else. If I'm a bad team devoid of any optimism, like who's the most bleak team in the NBA right now who like doesn't
Uh,
have
it might
picks or young
be.
guys? Oh my god, the Bulls are up there, but
It might be the. You said no picks or young guys.
yeah. Were you gonna say the Wizards?
I was gonna say the Wizards have their picks though. Like
Mm,
they haven't made like a big sweeping move that hasn't worked out. Yeah, it might be the Bulls. Like the Bulls are definitely the team I would like to be a fan of the least. But
yeah, we have our picks going for it, but that's not really the best situation for him either. I don't know what the ideal situation would be.
dude, I'm
Hey,
telling you,
hey
him and Jordan
Denver, go
Poole,
get it.
him and Jordan
And
Poole in the
Jordan Poole.
backcourt, it'd be
Oh
perfect.
my god.
Um, yeah, I did like if the Jokic analogy for Şengün rings true, that's exactly what happened with Jamal Murray in Denver. Was just like he's like I'm the fucking man. I was so good in college, like 13th overall pick. I'm turning Denver around. But there was no like crisis part of it. He was just like, holy fuck, this guy's really good. Like he's better than me. So yeah, I'm just gonna roll with that, and it's worked out well for him. So if Jalen Green can hop on that wave, maybe. But Jamal Murray did not have to contend with Dylan Brooks. So I don't know.
Hmm.
Shit's it's we're in a different timeline over there in Houston. Yeah, that's all I got for them. Moving to the Big Easy. The New Orleans Pelicans, 3-1 in their last four, 5-1 in their last six. Only losses to the Clippers. Shout out to CJ motherfucking McCollum, 24-4 on. That's like 20 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, not 24 points. On 51% from three on nearly 9 attempts per game through his last 10 games. He was absolutely nuclear as the Pelicans gave the Kings 133 points without Zion
Oh
Williamson.
man.
He went for 30 points on 90% true shooting in that game. And then the Pels also had a very impressive win over Minnesota. That was kind of a similar formula to the last time they did it, where Zion was just like really fucking good. He kind of takes the Gobert matchup like personally. He's like, oh, you block things? Well, I'm good now. I'm going to try really hard. So shout out to the Pels.
Oh my God! One of the greatest moments of my life was in the preseason of Zion's rookie year when they played the Jazz, and like his first clash with Gobert, he just like slams into him and moves him out of the way and finishes. I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be life changing. This is the best guy, and it was not hard for him. It took zero adjustment period, and so, um, yeah, wait, let me see. What do you know what seed the Kings are? I know the Pelicans are like the sixth
Uh,
seed
Let me check.
right
I actually have the
now.
standings open right here. Let me
Nice.
refresh just to make sure.
They're the fifth seed, right?
Yeah, it's looking out. Yep, Sacramento's 5 right now.
Oh man. If you're the Pelicans, you're like, we gotta figure out a way to get a playoff series against the Kings because we
Mm-hmm.
obliterate these guys. Like we don't even just beat them. We throw them down into a hole and then throw gasoline in the hole and then throw dragon fire Godzilla laser into the hole. That's what they do to the Kings. I don't know why. But they just obliterate the Kings. So if you're the Kings, I'd be terrified. I'd be like, we need to avoid these freaks. Zion is basically Godzilla, like when he first is on the island. Um, you know
And
what?
they're the planes. Yeah.
That's a good analogy. Right now, he's that smaller Godzilla that didn't have the radiation powers yet. But once he gets into peak shape, then he's got the laser, man.
Yes.
Then he's got the beam, and nothing can stop him.
Whoa, he's got the beam. He's taking the beam away from Sacramento. He's doing
Yeah.
his
Oh my
own beam.
God.
Holy shit. Yeah, this is a deep analogy. Good job. Off the
uh,
cuff. Damn.
uh, yeah, but there's honestly, I'm such a believer, man. I just think he's too good. So I'm so excited that the Pelicans they're 22-15 right now, and this isn't a season where everybody has been disappointed in them. Everyone is
Yeah.
like, Zion, we hate you now. You suck. You hate basketball. You're lazy. You cheated, and you're a bad guy. And still,
Mm-hmm.
nevertheless, she persisted, and so I'm if I do not want to play the Pelicans in the playoffs. Oh, right now they'd be matched up against the Nuggets. Hey man, Zion putting that shoulder into
Uh,
Jokic's chest, I wouldn't feel good about it. He'd say I'm going
no.
back to horse racing.
I'm Aaron Gordon, bring your dog to the arena. Let's fucking
Oh
let's
crap.
let's, let's rile his ass up. Take Zion out. Yeah, I don't know. No, Zion fucking rocks. And you just want him to be good. You want him to be good, and so that's probably where a little bit of the disappointment stems from. If I wanted to like go back in time to like 1995 and shows like if I wanted to communicate to somebody the importance of wings in basketball, just like really fucking athletic 6'8", 6'9" guys, I would show them these Pelicans Kings games we've gotten this season where it's like, oh, the Kings have like the traditional superstar point guard, spectacular big man. They've got like nice pieces around them. And then they have Harrison Barnes and like Keegan Murray. And
Yeah.
then on the Pelican side, like Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Ingram is, I don't know, not like a traditional wing. He's probably a little bit small, but he's like got huge fucking arms and everything. And so, yeah, they just kind of outclassed them on that front. And it does kind of, it feels like it leads to these blowouts sometimes where it's hard for Fox to move around with like Herb Jones and everybody hounding him. Plus Jose Alvarado, who I mean, he's got the heart of a wing. He's got. If I went to 95, they'd be like, this guy's kind of like John Starks, and I'd be like, yeah, exactly. There you go, perfect. Yeah, so I don't know. Shout out to the Pels. I wouldn't like to play them in the first round. Much rather would play the Rockets now that I'm looking at the standings. Although Şengün seems to like light Jokic up every time. So like that's like the disaster timeline is Şengün. It's like the We Believe Warriors, but it's Şengün being like, I'm the fucking good passing big man now.
I'm
So yeah.
2.0. I'm Jokic 2.0.
Oh man. I fade on wide open jumpers. I'm crazy like
Oh
that.
my God. I
Uh,
love him.
my favorite is even on his pump fakes, he fades. The foot comes up on the pump fake, and then he puts it back down just to do the whole fucking thing over again. He's so funny. Yeah. All right, moving on to someone I might want to play even less. Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks.
Mm.
3-1 in their last 4 games, including a win over the Timberwolves, which they immediately followed up with a loss to the No Jaw Grizzlies. The Grizzlies loss was frustrating if you're really like looking at this from a Mavs perspective when you look at how precarious seeding is probably going to be as you get down into the West standings. We're at like a pretty interesting cross point right now, crossroads, I guess, where it's like the 1 seed 10 losses, 2 seed 11 losses, 12, 13, 14, all the way down to the 11 seed has 20 losses. And so yeah, like 1 or 2 games here or there, a game against the Jawless Grizzlies, for example, that could really matter in the grand scheme of things. And so yeah, I don't know. Dallas, I got into some beef where I was like, I think Derek White's better than Kyrie right now. He has a lot of fans online. I don't know ball, man. Holy shit. It was a crazy night for me last night. I was watching Night at the Museum. I checked my phone like, you fucking moron. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Is this on TikTok or
sorry.
Twitter?
This was on Twitter. Yeah. So sorry, Kyrie Hive. Sorry, K Hive. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think Luka's good. The idea of them losing him eventually in a LeBron to Miami-esque way looms pretty heavily for me. But yeah, they've been good lately. So let's give them props. 3-1 in their last 4. How you feeling?
Yeah, I just always want them to be better because he's so good.
I know.
I saw a tweet about someone said Grant Williams he's never been expected to play these many minutes, and so he's like, Jesus, I'm not in shape for this. I need to be in better shape. I don't know if that is real or if somebody's just like, I feel like Grant Williams is fat. That should be fixed. But I've seen them in some Siakam trade talks. I don't know what the package would be, but I think that would be very cool if that was. I would love to see that if that was able to happen. Do you know what the package would be?
I don't off the top of my head. I like an ideal world that I live in my brain. So let's just say it's like him and Kyrie and Luka still on the fucking Mavs together. If they can keep those guys together, I don't know what the pick situation in Dallas is, but yeah, I wouldn't mind Siakam there. Siakam's scary because like the Kings pulled out because he was like, I'm not going to sign an extension there, even though he's looking for like a full max deal wherever he goes. Which one of the deadliest things in the NBA is paying a good guy like a great guy. And so if you do that with Siakam, I'm not sure what that does for your ability to construct a roster. But they do need defense, and Siakam's a pretty damn good defender. This Grizzlies team scored 120 points against the Mavs. They've only done that 5 other times this season. And it was against the Spurs, Jazz, the Hawks, and Phoenix. So I guess 4 other times. I can't fucking count. But regardless, horrible defensive company to be in. None of those teams are good defenses, even though San Antonio has Wembanyama. So yeah, it's just that end of the floor is pretty gnarly for Dallas right now. Even though they made some nice defensive acquisitions in the offseason, I don't really know what the solution is here.
Honestly, they're another team where just like I just don't want to see them in the playoffs because even with all the defensive issues, it's gonna feel impossible to stop Luka from just dropping 40-point triple doubles on you, and then now he's gonna have Kyrie. So we'll see how that manifests itself because Kyrie, once you get to the playoffs, if he gets in a series that motivates him to be Kyrie and put on a show, then it's becomes incredibly difficult to stop him. So they're a team that I think you're just hoping and praying for what happened to the Nuggets last year to happen to you, where all of a sudden everybody just plays the best defense of their life. But yeah, you just got to wonder if they have the pieces for that. Could Derek Lively just fully go Mavericks Tyson Chandler? Could Grant Williams go Aaron Gordon? Who knows? It might be possible. We'll see.
Grant Williams got it like that. But he's Batman's pretty strong. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because Denver, like, they almost pulled like a prime Lonzo Bulls, where it's like our rim protection is our perimeter defense. We've just got we've got Aaron Gordon, we've got KCP, Michael Porter Jr. is locked in, Jamal Murray's underrated, and Jokic can just kind of exist defensively. Like he can just be a big body down there, and they thankfully, I mean, if they run into like prime Anthony Edwards or someone, that situation might not work out as well, because you really need a rim protector for somebody like that. But they thankfully the matchups worked out well in Denver's favor. With Dallas, it's a little different because you are a more traditional defensive unit in the sense that Luka not that good. Kyrie, I think Kyrie's kind of underrated defensively, but he's still not like a top end talent or anything. You're kind of
Yeah.
hoping to just like break even on his minutes a lot of the time. And then you have, I don't know, as the further you go down the size of the depth chart, Derek Lively's been solid. Grant Williams, Derek Jones Jr., you get good run out of
Oh
them.
yeah,
It's
Derek
just,
Jones Jr. has been playing really, really well for
yeah,
them.
no, he's really good, and I like that. I've the Derek Jones Jr. cycle with Hamidou Diallo before, where it's like this guy, he's got the fucking tools, baby. If he was just like a little bit smarter and locked in and like I don't know, made more decisions correctly, he could be a really good defensive guy. And it didn't work out there, obviously. But Derek Jones Jr., he's been nice in Dallas, so shout out to him.
He's like permanently skinny. I wonder how much he lifts. Or what's up with his body? Because his genetics have given him limitless bounce, but just not
Can't
a whole
add
lot of
any weight.
mass.
Oh, dude, I forgot to say the quote earlier when you were like, "How the fuck do these guys gain weight?" There's a great Jermaine O'Neal quote, where he's like, "Later in my career, I would be up at like 3 a.m. staring at the bag of Oreos in the pantry, being like, fuck, like I can't keep doing this. This is crazy." And so yeah, maybe I don't know. Like I think a lot of them, I would assume, just like eat like complete shit. Like I know a lot of people are the Kyrie, Kevin Love archetype of just like only putting optimum foods into your body and feeding the engine that way. But I'm sure there are just as many guys you don't hear about that just completely balloon up after they leave the league because they're not working out
Oh
anymore, but they're
yeah.
still eating like prime Dwight Howard levels of candy and McDonald's every day. So yeah. But Derek Jones Jr., skinny guy. Kings, Sacramento. We're heading west. This is the gold rush. We're panning for gold, and we're not really finding that much. They just got nuked by the Pelicans, but 3-1 in their last four. Scored 130 points in all three wins, including wins over the Raptors and the Magic. Like I already touched on, the Pelicans really exposed the lack of wing depth that you see with Sacramento. But yeah. Shout out to Malik Monk. 37 points, 9 assists off the bench in the big game versus the Magic. That was an electrifying game. I really liked that win.
It means king in Arabic. That's what they say. Um,
Mm.
the biggest story out of Sacramento. Have you heard about the Netflix show?
Oh yeah, Sabonis got the documentary nod. I did see that.
Yeah. So it's going to be LeBron, Anthony Edwards, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, and Domantas Sabonis. So, what number phone call was he? And did they call Fox before him, or did they just decide? Because Shea had to have gotten the call before him.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic for sure got a call and said no. I wonder if do you think they called Murray or no?
No, I can't imagine. Well, it's funny when you say did they call Fox and he said no, it'd be like there's a timeline out there where this is the complete unraveling of the Kings because they did call Fox and he's like, I don't want those fucking cameras just all over the
Oh,
goddamn place. I want to focus on getting this team back on track. Slams the phone down, hangs up. They call Sabonis. He's like, yeah, absolutely. And then like the rest of the season, Fox just hates Sabonis. So yeah, I don't know. Sabonis was probably pretty far down the list. I don't know. You get a little international representation, I suppose. But as far as like interesting,
Lithuania, not too many, not a big population.
you get. Let's throw in all of Eastern Europe. Maybe they'll set their intercontinental beefs aside and just be like, well, hey, okay, that guy's from over there. I'm from around there. I fuck with him. I'll watch the documentary. Yeah, I don't know. Sabonis doesn't make a ton of sense. To be honest, neither does Jimmy Butler. What are like
Well,
I
he's
can
good TV.
every episode's gonna be I'm up at 4:30. I'm up at 4
Yeah.
a.m. I'm getting in the fucking gym, baby. And that's it. But yeah. I'm excited for the LeBron episodes. I'm excited for every LeBron documentary that's ever going to come out. He
Oh
is
man,
like
I'm
he's
wait.
ridiculous
Finish your
TV.
sentence.
He's ridiculous TV. Like he's just I don't know, getting behind the scenes, just getting. It's kind of like Joe Biden, where if you just put him in front of a microphone for long enough, he's going to say something fucking insane, and you can be like, "Perfect, this is what I wanted." So yeah, I like LeBron. Let's get it. I'm excited.
I'll tell you what. I think LeBron has done and will continue to do irreparable damage to the sports documentary industry. And it's a result of the player empowerment movement. It's fine for you to want to go play wherever you want. Okay, that's fine. But you cannot make your own documentaries where it's just a knob slob fest. You know, why did you make the Redeem Team documentary and not interview the entire team? And you did not tell the best story out of that. They didn't get everything out of that. And like I just don't trust. I think you need an outsider to make a
Mm-hmm.
documentary, and I don't trust his production company. And I'll tell you what I'm worried about. At someday there's gonna be like a Last Dance style documentary about LeBron, but
Uh huh.
his people are gonna make it, and it's not gonna be as good as it could be. The Last Dance, they had to get approval from Jordan and whatever, but still, um, it wasn't like literally him. Like I don't know if he like what it wasn't his best friend editing or something like that. And so it was, and that was definitely like a Michael Jordan knob slob fest, but still there was like they touched on some bad stuff, like the gambling and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and like how mean he was. What
Mm-hmm.
like what would the worst thing, what would they touch on in LeBron's documentary? Like they're not going to speak about the China stuff. They're not going to speak
No,
about
yeah, like you can't. There's nothing there. Like maybe there was like a couple girls in like 2012. From they were like, oh, LeBron got me pregnant. But like nothing ever happened about it. Like it just completely. I mean, maybe he sent the SUVs. Maybe we'll get that in the fucking documentary. I can't imagine. Uh, yeah, like a LeBron propaganda piece. That's gonna be him a close up. He's like, "Yep, we were going in for Game 6, San Antonio," and Ray Allen was like, I don't think I think I'm gonna retire tonight." And LeBron said, "No, you got to go out there. You got to play. We're gonna need you in the big moments." And then
we're
so
going to need you to hit a big three when there's 30 seconds left, when we're down 5 with no time left. I knew it was going to happen.
I knew it was gonna happen. Exactly, Bosh, stand right there. Stand right there. That's where my brick's coming. Yeah. So I don't know. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Jack the Kings fan. We just turned the Kings segment into a LeBron think piece. I'm sure that makes them incredibly happy. Shout out to Sabonis' last four: 25 points, 15 rebounds, 11 assists on 70% true shooting. He's been really good. We've expressed concerns about translation into the postseason. I'm not going to touch on it this week.
Yeah.
He's just playing good. Let's let him be happy. Congratulations to Sabonis, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for Anthony Edwards. We'll see. We'll see. Anthony Edwards, he's a genuine guy. Sometimes he says slurs because of that, but at the end of the day, he's a genuine guy.
Hashtag no filter. Hashtag yeah, okay. Perfect. Moving on to the Clippers. Lost to the Lakers. I'm not gonna crucify them over that. They beat up the Suns, and they are mostly undefeated with Kawhi and Harden since the big losing streak. They're 3-1 in their last four. They're 6-1 in their last seven. This was their first loss where Kawhi played since like November 30th. So it's not really a panic loss for me. You already know that if Kawhi and Harden both shoot 30%, you're probably losing that game. And with such a hot streak going on, it's like, yeah, you're gonna lose eventually. Nobody's infallible. So yeah, I don't know. Clippers, I'm still up on them. You mentioned they were a real contender earlier. I'm on board with that.
They got the big Kawhi extension, 3 years, 152 million. They're
Jesus.
negotiating the Paul George extension, but it looks like they're going to be there probably for the rest of their careers, unless like something goes wrong and they're like, all right, we're just gonna Paul George, your last year can be in Indiana or something. Um,
Perfect.
but Westbrook, he's been relegated to the bench, but when he plays, he's gotten the chance to rock the baby, so that's going well. Terrence Mann has been terrible this year shooting wise. He's shooting 26%. Since the new year began, he's 10 of 18 from three. So 2024 is the year of man.
New year, new me. There we go.
Yeah, Ty Lue has been popping off. He's getting himself like he probably should have stayed in this conversation. But I do think he's in that upper echelon of coaches
Mm-hmm.
with like Spo and with those guys. He's just always willing to adjust, and he really puts his players in the best positions to succeed. He's not afraid to tell a star, hey, move off ball. Let me get you involved in this way. Let's stop dribbling 18 times every position. Let's speed this baby up. And so
Holy
things are
shit.
looking really good for them. Best team in LA. Um, if they go far in the playoffs, I think I'll root for them. I think I still like Kawhi. I think I
Mm-hmm.
still like Paul George. I think I'm okay with Harden. I'm okay with Harden winning this way. I was rooting against Harden in Houston because I was like, I don't want this style of basketball to beat the Golden State style of basketball, and also I didn't want Chris Paul to win. But
Perfect. Yes, I agree.
yeah, but now I'm okay with rooting for Harden, and I'm okay with with Westbrook winning in this capacity.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously don't want him to beat the Nuggets, but I like Kawhi and I like Paul George a lot. So yeah, and I don't hate Harden or anything. I'm on board with rooting for them. It would be more difficult for me than for you. I
Yeah.
was just I was just gonna say, it's so funny to imagine Ty Lue going just in terms of like talking to a star about making adjustments and changing the way that the team is going to play basketball. Going from LeBron to Kawhi Leonard, is there like a bigger change in the league where it's like Kawhi's like, I'll, I'll do whatever you want. Just like don't make me do the post game press conference, please. Whereas LeBron's like, no, you're lucky you're in the room right now. I'm gonna go
Oh
back
my
to drawing
god.
up plays. Yeah, Paul George, pretty similar guy, not like a big personality or anything. So shout out to Ty Lue. I agree with you. He is smart. Good coach. It's just it's hard to gain that notoriety when you win with LeBron because it's all and this is not like a LeBron hate or anything, but a lot of credit goes that way, which I mean, rightfully so. The 3-1 comeback, it's insane. But yeah, Lue is a quality coach in his own right. So yeah, shout out to the Clippers. Their depth was solid against Phoenix, which is not saying a ton. You let any bench really run against Phoenix, they'll probably come out on top, generally speaking. Uh, but yeah, it was more of a like the Suns getting beat up by the Clippers is more of a testament to the talent level of the Suns right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's it's so funny to think about coaching Kawhi. It reminds me of what Mo DeKeel said. He works for the Athletic, and he was an assistant with the Clippers, and they were talking about Kawhi's team defense versus on ball defense, and like it's a common thing to say like he's worse at team defense
Mm-hmm.
than a lot of like the best team defenders in the NBA, and especially like relative to his on ball defense. And Mo was basically like, uh, the way Kawhi thinks about basketball is that he thinks like literally no one, like everyone should just stay in front of their man all the time. And then so that's like his ideal defensive scheme is everyone just guards their guy and you stop them that way because that's how he plays. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, why would you slide over, just stop him. And it's also like, do you remember the story about him in practice? I forget who told it, but like when he misses in practice, he says, "It's not you," to the guy guarding him. Like he's saying, "I'm the reason I miss my jumpers."
That's so funny. Oh my god.
So it's so I wonder, yeah. I feel like coaching Kawhi could be really fun.
Oh yeah, I mean Kawhi like hilarious, and oftentimes it seems like he's being funny on purpose. I know he's got like the whole just like rep of being quiet and everything, but he's funny, man. I would love to hang out with Kawhi. Make him do the weird laugh a couple of times. Clippers,
I think he wouldn't like me, but I would like him.
oh no, I'd be overstimulating for him. I can almost guarantee that. But Clippers, real contenders. We fuck with it. If like the report comes out in 3 months where it's like Kawhi's knees not looking great,
Oh man.
my jaw's not gonna shatter on the floor or anything. But yeah, right now they're rocking. So shout out to them. Moving up into the mountains. Oh my god, the air's so
Ooh.
thin up here. Denver, the Denver Nuggets, Jokic. Holy fuck. Bank shot, God shot against the Warriors to win the game. And then they definitely didn't immediately blow a 20-point lead to a shorthanded Magic team the night after. That didn't happen. My vibes are still super high from the Warriors game. It fucking rocks.
Well, he has woken up from hibernation. It seems he's just decided to stop missing shots again, and that game was crazy the other night where he took 3 shots. And
Mm-hmm.
he had 4.7 rebounds and 16 assists, and so it's funny. Like I've seen people started to say like. Jokic is like the opposite of like beating up on bad teams. Like
Yeah,
when he sees a bad team in front of him, he's like, "This is great. I don't have to score. I don't have to do anything.
perfect.
I'm just gonna pass the entire game long." So, yeah. Or if I'm the Nuggets, I'm like, man, he's waking up. I'm still feeling good. I'm excited.
Yeah, dude. Like the fact you said he decided to stop missing shots, I cannot communicate how frustrating it was. Like the 3 game period where he's shooting 30% from the field because it's all the exact same shots that he takes normally. They just weren't falling. And for any other like I'm incredibly spoiled because it's just like, oh, he's having like a rough stretch of a couple games. That hasn't happened to me in like 3 years. And so it's just like, dude, you can't. That's not allowed. Don't fucking do that again. It was not fun. Yeah, but I don't know. Jokic fucking rocks. The idea of him not beating up on bad teams, it's like it's not great for like the whole MVP conversation.
Yeah.
I think it matters there. You've seen a lot of people being like, "Oh, Embiid only scores 40 against the Pistons Wizards, man." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like everyone else does that too, and Jokic is not Pistons Wizards, man. Holy shit, he's Celtics Timberwolves, man. He only cares about those games, and it's fine. Against the Pistons, it's cool because we beat the shit out of them. But there have been plenty of games where it's like Jokic, dude, the team is shooting 28% from three right now. Please shoot the ball. You're being guarded by like a guy who's 40 pounds lighter than you. Please shoot the ball. And he's just like, nope, swing the rock. Oh my God. Michael Porter Jr. is having an off night, another brick. And then, like, yeah, we're tied with the Hornets going into the fourth quarter or something. And yeah, so I don't know. It's not like you're worried about Jokic ever at this point. It's kind of like you're just waiting for the playoffs. Can they get back to that gear that they hit last season? Shout out to Jamal Murray too. It's sad. I really wanted him to make the All-Star game this season, looking like pretty much an impossibility at this point. I don't think he would be any coach's pick for the reserves, and he's definitely not going to win in the voting. So you win. You're a state of the league All-Star game contestant, Jamal Murray. We'll set that game up soon.
You are unironically, genuinely better and more important to NBA history than John Stockton.
Oh, no question. Oh my God. And cooler too. Cooler. You got fucking sick New Balance commercials
Yeah.
and a New
He shot
Balance
the
store.
arrows.
He does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pew. Well, I've never seen John Stockton do that. He probably thought it was showboating, and then he said the
He,
N
he,
word or something.
he,
Yeah.
yeah, he probably said shooting arrows is for Native Americans, but he probably used a slur for that.
Shooting arrows. What are you trying to jab me with a needle? Get the fuck out of here, pal.
Trying to shoot the vaccine into me.
Exactly. God, I'm kind of hyped for this interview now. It would be funny. Like, I would love to, if I was involved, you switch out all their prompts with extremely provocative questions.
How many
Like
genders are there?
how many genders are there? How'd you feel about the last election and the security of it? Did you feel like it was compromised at all? Did you do anything in the wake of it? Yeah, let
When will
us
the
know,
rapture
John.
be? And will Karl Malone be raptured?
John's just silent, no answer.
I
All right.
wonder what like spin, because NBA players, they're always like, well, we would have been the best ever if this didn't happen. Like Michael Jordan
Mhm.
actually got lucky that one time. Like, I wonder what kind of stuff they're gonna say to like shift the blame and be like, well, they're gonna be like, remember Hornacek, he tweaked his hamstring in February, so he wasn't the same, and so we would have beaten Jordan that year. They'll be pulling out something like that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's also you have to think about and like they don't just get to make excuses for that. It's also going to be like, well, then we saw Hakeem in the first round. Then we saw David Robinson in the first round. Then we saw the corpse of Kareem in the first round. It's like, yeah, some of those work, I guess, but like if you're, I don't know, the best 1-2 punch of all time, I can't believe that was like ever an opinion ever. That just like holy shit, this was an overwhelming offensive force of basketball. They're pretty good. They're fine.
They were productive, but they I mean he wanted Magic Johnson to die. Not he didn't say that, but he was like, I
Yeah.
don't want to touch him.
Get away from me. All right. Oklahoma City. Speaking of people that I want to get away from me, Josh, get out of here.
Oh,
Oh, they have sucked since beating the Celtics. What the fuck is going on? 2-2 in their last four.
championship
Gargantuan.
hangover.
I mean, yeah, literally in-season tournament championship hangover. Same shit when you beat the Celtics, I guess. Yeah, like the Celtics win. It's hard to like put into words. Felt big, felt notable because it was coming off the back of Timberwolves win and Nuggets win as well. Like they were on top of the fucking world. Boston came into that game locked in, looking to like make a point by winning, and they couldn't do it. I mean, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander lit Derek White and Drew Holiday the fuck up. He was getting whatever he wanted against them. And so, yeah, since then, lost to the Hawks, lost to the Nets, kind of just like fucked around with the Wizards. They beat them by 10, but like 10 is not really that much in today's NBA. And they weren't like, it's not like they were up like 30 and then kind of got lazy. They were just up 10 the whole time. It was always kind of within reach if the Wizards weren't mid. So yeah, that's just a crazy trend after a string of really impressive wins. So how do you feel about the Thunder?
I'm in the same place with them. I feel like they're like a Clippers level team. I think Shea is in the MVP race. Will he get up to the top of it? It would take a really strong end of the season. But as we learned last year, the voters are Coco Melon babies. You just got to whoever dangles something in front of them last is who's gonna win. So we'll see what he can put together. What masterpiece the artist known as Shea Gilgeous-Alexander can paint for us all.
Yes. I did want to touch on. Oh, hold on. I got a burp coming. I got to work around this.
Oh,
They're out rebounded. They were out rebounded by 12 versus Atlanta. Capella goes for 12 points and 14 rebounds. They were out rebounded by 15 versus Brooklyn. Claxton goes for 23 points and 13 rebounds. Chet averaging just 4 rebounds per game during that stretch. So that's I don't know. You don't want to overreact, but like if you told me that was a really hard thing for the Thunder to deal with if they took this roster right now and put it in a postseason setting, that wouldn't surprise me. They do rebound pretty well by committee, but when they don't do that, it's hard. Nobody, it's hard for anyone here to really pull down double-digit rebounds.
yeah. There's been a lot of talk about them trying to address the rebounding issue. I feel like Capella. I don't know what the Hawks would want for Capella, if they'd be willing to
Mm-hmm.
give him up, because their season's kind of down the toilet and
They
he's getting
suck.
older. But Capella's really good. He's like at the near the top of the league in rebounds, in box outs. He's a guy who's been to the playoffs before. He's definitely not as nimble as he was in those Houston days, but I think he's still really good. I think he's still really, really good with lob threat and somebody who can probably hold up on the perimeter better than a lot of centers.
Hmm.
And I think he'd be a really interesting piece to go out and get. I wonder, do they don't really have a big time lob threat like that. And do they have a big time lob thrower? Like obviously Josh Giddey probably could throw lobs, but
Hmm.
he's too much of a non-scoring factor
Um,
to really run pick and roll.
Jalen Williams to Chet Holmgren is a lob
Yeah.
that it sticks out in my mind. I don't have any like numbers on it, but in terms of J Dub's really good at getting into the mid-range floater range, top of the free throw situation, and he's pretty good at putting it up there for Chet. And Chet's fine at lobs. It's not like one of the god tier aspects of his offensive
Yeah.
game. I think if he adds a little bit more mass, he'll be better at him. He's more. I like him like trailing the play, getting like a little dump off pass, and then he fucking dunks it that way, which is almost a lob, but not quite. So yeah, I don't know. Just the rebounding, a thing to keep an eye on. Again, they have games when they beat the shit out of the Nuggets a couple weeks back. They were phenomenal rebounding the basketball in that game just because they had like it was like a football game. They had 3-4 jerseys on the ball every time it came off the rim, and they just that discipline hasn't really been there against worse caliber teams. So yeah, that's all I got for the Thunder. Moving on, Minnesota. Vulnerable lately. 2-2 in their last four. Allowing 107 points per game on the season. They've let 112 plus in 3 of their last 5 losses, or in 3 of their last 5 games. All of those games have been losses. And I continue to worry about the offensive ceiling of this team if they get into a shootout.
What a disaster it would be if the first time you're optimistic about being a Minnesota fan ever, you get the Netflix show and then it just becomes Hard Knocks. Like your season falls apart and everything is recorded and like they just like every Timberwolves segment is like Gobert, everyone hating Gobert and stuff like that. I don't think it will happen, but it would be the most Minnesota thing to ever happen. Yeah, I wonder if this is unpopular, but I feel like for me, they are like I think I might trust the Clip. I might be more scared of the Clippers in the playoffs than them. I might be more scared of OKC. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They're still the best defense, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
it's
mean, it feels
just
like they are.
yeah,
It's either them or Boston, probably.
still that. Oh yeah, they're three. They're at 108.6 and Boston's at 111. So they're comfortably the
Who's
best defense in the
who's
league.
who's who's second?
Yeah, Boston's second.
Boston second? Oh, so Minnesota is still number one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I thought I got your numbers mixed up there. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, they're still I have it written down here. Great defense, like we just touched on. Only scored 120 points in 7 games this season. That's like the fourth
Mm.
worst mark in the NBA right now, and I believe everybody below them is like the usual suspects of the Spurs and the Jazz and whatnot, just teams that really struggle to like erupt offensively. Although the Jazz lately, I guess they're kind of fucking killing it. But that's besides the point. Yeah, if you get into a series, if the Clippers have Kawhi, that's a great defense with a really high offensive ceiling. If the Thunder, I mean, if
Mhm.
Shea's game translates, I worry about what a defense would do with Josh Giddey. Just like
Oh man.
people are already completely fucking ignoring him. Like just stand wherever you want as long as you don't have the basketball and it doesn't matter. We don't care. So like translate that to a postseason setting. I'm a little bit worried about what that's going to look like. But the Clippers, I see the argument. We're waiting on a lot in terms of the progression of Anthony Edwards this postseason and what Karl Anthony Towns looks like. Is he the Julius Randle mold where we're getting a little bit worse in the postseason
Mhm.
when shit gets a little bit trickier? Or if he can maintain that 23 whatever points per game on spectacular shooting, if he can really look like the GOAT big man shooter in the postseason, if we can get 40% for like 8 games in the postseason, yeah, that moves me a little bit more as far as like the ceiling of what this team can do offensively.
Yeah, Mike Conley's been great for them. I think maybe It might be time for them to have a reunion with a former Timberwolf. Zach LaVine, Chicago Bull. I mean,
Oh,
great,
okay.
great, great dynamic offensive player. So I don't know what kind of picks they have left after the Gobert trade, but I might give up every single thing I have left, and maybe
Yeah,
like
sell
maybe
out, guys.
I mean they have so much defense. Do you need Jaden McDaniels? I mean, I guess I'd take him
All
for
right,
Zach
listen to
LaVine.
this. You get Carl Anthony Towns for Levine straight up. You pulling the
I
trigger
would,
on it?
yeah, I'd do it. I would do it.
I probably would too, because you can. I mean, Cat's contract is not good, and they're gonna have some pretty serious questions to answer in the off season about like what that allows your team to do. But Levine sucks too, so I don't know. You could probably move Cat a little easier, or at least I don't know, let somebody else cook in
he
Chicago.
he's still a very rare player. Like just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
shooting at the center and the attacking off the dribble. They do have Nas Reed.
Nas Reed, dude. I tweeted it out. Like, I think Embiid's number one for me in a like fluidity of movement centers. Nas Reed, legit case for number two. I like Chet and Wemby in that mold too. They both are kind of like, whoa, what the fuck? But Nas Reed, man, like the dribble package is insane, especially when he gets downhill, and especially when he's got like a smaller guy that you think would be able to rip him. He's just fucking cooking people. So yeah, franchise guy, franchise cornerstone. Get Cat out of there. Let Nas cook. Yeah, Timberwolves up in the air. And there's always been questions about whether or not this is going to translate. The questions are still there. Shockingly, after just a week, we still are thinking the same shit. So yeah, sorry, Minnesota fans.
DeAndre Ayton's up there when he's running without the ball.
Oh, dude.
He looks like he's a smaller man running.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you were like a gladiator and you had to fight
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre, and you're like, holy fuck, this is terrifying. But
Yeah, if you don't know, he just stays up till 3 a.m. playing 2K. You'd be like, Jesus Christ, this guy's a monster.
holy shit. All right, that's the whole conference. Now, real quick, I mean, we're cracking an hour 50, so this could be, let's just run through this. Who would you rather be between Golden State, Phoenix, or the Los Angeles Lakers? Three teams with era defining players in LeBron, KD, and Curry. Three teams that are closer to the bottom of the conference. Yeah, what are you thinking? Whose situation is the least bad?
Um, I think probably I would probably bet on the Lakers to be the best team out of all those because things just happen to go right for LeBron all the time. And despite my greatest wishes, despite my hate, he's still so dominant. Anthony Davis is still so dominant. So I think it's much more realistic to have the role players catch up and just become capable role players
Mm-hmm.
than it is like I think the answer might be on the roster already for the Lakers. Just like guys living up to their jobs. The
Yeah.
Suns, the Suns and Warriors, the answer might not be on the roster. And so
And you
and
can't add it for, I mean, you definitely can't
yeah.
for the Suns. The Warriors maybe. I agree that the Lakers probably had the best shot of the guy already being there though.
Yeah, and then I would probably go Warriors above Suns because like the Warriors it's established. Like this is just a worse version of a core that we've seen win.
Hmm.
This Phoenix Suns team is just like a Frankenstein super team and we don't fully know what the best version of them looks like or if it'll ever come out. So that would be my ranking of those three.
I did have Golden State above the Lakers because to be fair, I didn't communicate this when I asked it to you. I was thinking more of like which team would you rather be over the next several seasons, and
Oh,
one thing that factored in, it's LeBron's free agency looms pretty heavily, and we like nobody
Bronny's
is
coming in.
nobody's talking about it, but yeah, like that motherfucker is playing with Bronny. So whether or not LA drafts him, I don't know, but that's like something that exists in the real world now. And so yeah, I think that like dissuaded me from it a little bit. I think Golden State's like the real issue is like the emotional strings attached to the decisions that are probably going to like be made or need to be made in order to like work shit out. does Draymond, like we've talked about, Draymond hasn't really regressed. Is he stable? Are we chilling? Can you just be like a part of a good team again? Klay Thompson, I probably don't want you on my basketball team anymore, to keep it a buck. And so yeah, just like I don't know, decisions like that, it's a little bit more difficult, but yeah, I don't know. LA has better role players, more tradable role players. D'Lo's contract they specifically worked out, so like it's pretty movable. And yeah, I don't know. I wrote down a bunch of shit about Phoenix, so I'll just roll it out right now. Here's all their picks. This was so crazy to me. 2024 unprotected first belongs to the Wizards. Their second round pick is the Wizards. 2025 unprotected first rounder belongs to Brooklyn. Their second round pick is the Wizards. 26 unprotected first is the Wizards. Their second round pick is still the Wizards. 27 unprotected first rounder is Brooklyn. Their second round pick is the Wizards. 28 unprotected first round pick is Brooklyn or Washington. And then their second goes to Indiana or the Knicks. 29 unprotected first rounder goes to Brooklyn. Their second belongs to fucking Sam Presti in Oklahoma City somehow. And then 2030, their first belongs to Washington or Memphis, and then their second rounder still belongs to Washington. Ugh, they don't.
Wait,
They
so
don't.
do they have literally nothing?
They have a variety of second rounders from other teams. Uh, but like in terms of their own picks, I don't think they have one until past 2030, which is that's so gnarly to me. And then on top of that, maybe 3 good role players on the whole team. If you're like super high on what Nurkic has shown this season, you're like, oh yeah, Nurkic and Grayson Allen and Eric Gordon, we got something here, guys. But I'm not, and so I don't feel that way. I would fucking hate to be the Suns. This is like if I was a Suns fan, and like the Wolverine meme, just touching like the picture of Mikal Bridges and the
Oh
21
man.
team. Yeah, this. Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
but
the
I mean,
vibes are
but
so
I guess
gross now.
yeah, even that team, like they're not good enough to
Oh
contend
no,
in
yeah,
the West
that's
either.
yeah. But
And
if you're
Chris
not going
Paul
to
would
be
be
good
done.
enough, you're not going to be good enough. Like you could still
Have good vibes.
the future. I mean, yeah, the future's there. You're like, fuck. When Devin Booker doesn't play, this Mikal Bridges guy, he's like 27 points per game. What the hell? So yeah, I wouldn't want to be Phoenix. I guess that was the whole point of this segment. Just like that, we are at an hour and 55 minutes. My back hurts. I'm hungry.
I
This
just
job
plugged in my phone.
sweet. Oh my god. Yeah, you guys have no idea how hard this job is. I dare you to try it for a day. It's harder than being an underwater welder. Pablo, where can the
Oh.
people find you, man?
Um, Pablo Escobar on TikTok, and then Hot Tunes TV China NBA on YouTube. I'm gonna post more there. I have something recorded. I'm gonna try a bunch of different stuff to figure out what I should post there, because I can't do that much NBA film stuff because I don't know how to to technically do it,
Me
because
neither.
I can do it with college basketball because there's this website Streamable that makes it very very easy. You just click a YouTube link, and then you get the clip. You get to pick exactly what clip you want out of it. It's very easy. But NBA games are not on YouTube. And the website does not work with NBA.com or with the illegal websites that I watch on. So it's incredibly. I'm sure I could invest in something, but I almost killed myself setting up a printer today. So, but I'm gonna figure out ways to post more, and so it'll probably involve a lot of yapping.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's what we're good at around here. I should, damn, I don't know. I should fucking figure out how to do a YouTube video about something. A minute of yap for me, I've got the formula down. But like 10 minutes of yap, oh, that's a lot of research, man. I simply don't know. So,
The
yeah,
my video was just not a lot, no research, was just yapping off the dome for 30 minutes. So that's my
hell yeah.
that's what I'm gonna post. So
All right.
we'll see if people are ready to come to Yap Town.
I'm gonna renovate a wall in here, and I'm gonna make it look like the Apollo Comedy Club, and that's gonna be like my backdrop for all my video. Hey everybody, how we doing? How's it going? All right,
Oh
and
God.
then I'll just fucking riff about the NBA. So yeah,
Well, yeah,
you can follow me.
you know Motown Noah. That's just what he would do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do know. Damn. Well, Motown Noah, if you're listening, I'm ripping your ass off. You're not gonna do anything about it. You know.
He doesn't do it anymore. He just posts his podcast on there. So maybe you can
Oh
take
shit.
his he left a gap in the void.
Yeah, gap in the void. The algorithm. It's hungry. It's hungry. I'll feed myself to it. Yeah, okay, there we go. I'm liking where this is going. Follow me everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me on the fucking Real Sports app so I could get more fake money on there. I'm working on a bunch of trading cards online. It's like NFTs, but fun. Jokicjoestar everywhere. Go follow me. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Peace, 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 peace.